Ms Bligh has now admitted that the sale of public assets was canvassed within the state government 6 months before last year's state election. The Premier's confession came after a 7 News Freedom of Information investigation unearthed a confidential budget briefing document. State political reporter Patrick Condren joins us now live from Parliament House. And Patrick, has that document been released?
Well, it sort of has, Kay. The Premier today refused to release the full briefing, but she did quote a specific paragraph that coincidentally supports her argument that asset sales weren't on her agenda until after the election. It rained on the Premier's parade as Labor MPs gathered for a two-day love-in. Revelations that the government discussed asset sales 6 months before last March's election failed to dent their love for Ms Bligh.
I think she's absolutely honest.
I don't think that it was on the agenda before the election.
The Premier's doing an excellent job.
The Premier today confirmed that confidential budget advice given to senior ministers in October 2008 did suggest the sale of public assets.
A number of options were canvassed in the paper, and the option of asset sales was expressly recommended against because the market had spiralled out of control and you couldn't sell a garden shed.
But we'll have to take her word for that.
I do not intend, like any other government in Australia, to release confidential financial matters that could jeopardise Queensland's standing in the market.
Except, of course, for that bit of the document that supports the Premier's claim that she didn't mislead voters.
I'm very happy to quote from it, and I'm happy to provide you with the page with this quote in relation to asset sales.
Ms Bligh's take on the wording is...
Yes, it mentioned it and it rejected it.
But what it actually says is...
The timing of asset sales needs to have regard to the state of both equity and debt markets. Current market conditions are not conducive to a large asset sales program.
When she announced the asset sell-off after the state election last year, the Premier defended the move by saying the state government's finances had been hit harder than expected by the global financial crisis. However, today, an insight into why asset sales were being considered in October 2008.
What would you expect Treasury to be saying to every government around the world? Your budget is out of control. Here are all the options.
Ms Bligh wouldn't say what else was canvassed, like the abolition of the 8-cent fuel subsidy, something else that wasn't talked about during the election campaign.
I do not intend to start releasing anything other than the final conclusion on this.
What the government did decide to do at the time was force up vehicle registration fees. And Kay, you will have noticed that the Premier did promise to release a page from the budget briefing note relating to asset sales. Well, she didn't. Instead, her office sent us the page she was reading from in her media conference, not from the Cabinet briefing document. Two very different things.
Yes, thank you. Patrick Condren joining us live from Parliament House. And 7 News is running an exclusive poll on the issue. We're asking, do you think Ms Bligh made a decision before the last election to sell public assets? To vote yes, phone 1902 558 770. To vote no, phone 1902 558 771. Or you can have your say on our website, yahoo7.com.au/Queensland. Voting closes at 4 p.m. tomorrow.